Alright, hey guys, so today I'm going to do the long-awaited and many requests to do a pharmacy school experience, pharmacy career video, and answer some of you guys' questions, give my experience, and share some tips and some information with you guys about applying to pharmacy school, being in pharmacy school, and then after pharmacy school. So first, and I wrote down all my notes here, so just in case I'm looking down, but just I wrote a lot of notes here, like a couple pages, so we'll get through it. Okay, so the reasons why I chose to go to pharmacy school. So before I applied to pharmacy school, and during my high school time, I was gearing towards applying to med school, going to med school and stuff like that. So it wasn't until my junior year that I was applying to med schools and getting ready to take my PCATs and my SATs that I changed my mind. And I changed my mind because my mom is a pharmacist, so I didn't really know much about the pharmacy career and all the things you can do. I just knew what she did. So it didn't really interest me that much because I didn't think that there was a lot of things you can do with a pharmacy degree. So my cousin, she graduated from pharmacy school from Howard University, and she was telling me about all the stuff that she's going to be planning on doing. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that, you know, pharmacists can do this and do that. And she was like, yeah. So I went home, researched about all the things that pharmacists can do with their degree, what they do in school, how much school they take, the classes they take, and all that stuff like that. So I was really interested, so I told my mom. I remember one night, my mom was like, Mommy, I think I want to apply to pharmacy school. And she said, okay. And she was happy that, you know, I chose to, you know, also apply to pharmacy school. So I was applying to med schools and I was applying to pharmacy schools at the same time. And there's a handful of schools that I got into. There was like University of Cincinnati, Purdue, University of Pittsburgh, Michigan. But all those are like pre-med or like pre-pharmacy. They weren't any of the accelerated programs. And then I got an interview at NeoMed, or I think it's at the pharmacies. I don't know if it's all the med schools NeoMed or it was at the time it was called Neo-UCOM, and they had a pharmacy school, and no, they had just a medical school. So yeah, NeoMed, and I applied there and I got an interview there. And then after my whole interview process and applying everywhere, I had my choices of where I would do pharmacy. I chose pharmacy at the end, so where I would do my pre-pharmacy. And then my dad found this school in Pittsburgh, Duquesne University, and said the deadline is over, but I called them and they said that you can apply still, last minute. So I applied there and I got into their pharmacy program, and their pharmacy program was a accelerated 6-year program. So I would get admission straight from high school, and it would be a whole 6 years, and I wouldn't have to apply again like after my undergrad to apply to get into the professional phase. So I said, let me take this. So I chose to go to Duquesne University of Pittsburgh, Marlin School of Pharmacy. So after high school, then I started my 6-year program, and your undergrad is in 2 years, and then the pharmacy phase is 4 years. So it's 6 years altogether. And in my undergrad years, I have to remember, so I took Gen Chem 1 and 2, OChem, Physics, Calculus 1, Biology 1 and 2, Writing, Economics, Psychology, and Public Speaking. And those were the prerequisites during the 2 years that I had to do. So what else do I have to say before I get into the good stuff? Okay, so yeah, so that was 2 years. After my 2 years, I didn't have to apply again to get into the pharmacy phase because I had a guaranteed seat when I was in high school, and I didn't have to take the PCAT because as long as you keep your GPA, it was like a 3.5 or a 3.0, I forget. As long as you keep your GPA up the first 2 years, then you're guaranteed a seat into the pharmacy phase. So I was able to do that, and I got in. And they do kick you out after the 2 years if you don't keep your GPA. So the third year, that was the first professional year, and we call that P1, and I prepared that to be the worst year of my life. I prepared for the worst because I said, this is not going to be easy. Pharmacy school is not easy, and I need to bog down, get focused, and get ready for anything. So I really was ready for anything. So And I liked how I mentally prepared myself for that so I wouldn't feel overwhelmed. So my first exam, I remember I got an A on my first exam. And I said to myself, you know what, like I can do this. So I said, let me just take this on, finish to the end, and just survive. Like literally just try to survive. So they say that the third year is the hardest year and then it gets easier, but I think it's just that it gets harder, but you get used to how hard it is. So it makes it doesn't really get easier, it just gets your mind just gets used to the hard work and all the things you're going to be doing. And I spent all my days studying. I had no social life during that time. All my friends, like, they were just like gone. Like, I never saw friends. All I saw was my friends in my pharmacy class and in the library. That's all I went to. My dorm, class, and the library. So I spent many days, many hours in that library. I remember I spent my 21st birthday looking at the clock when it struck midnight in the library and stuff. So, and some nights I would get so like crazy because it's like overwhelming with a lot of the work, and then all the stuff you have to like study, and it was just a lot. It was a lot. So the one thing that really helped me in pharmacy school was having my core of friends in my class, and we helped each other, you know, stay on track with assignments, study, motivate each other, you know, give tips and stuff like that. So I was really grateful that I had, you know, good friends and good people in my class. And then also I joined a pharmacy fraternity, so it was a co-ed fraternity, and actually was president of the fraternity one year. And that's also a good way to help you, you know, in your pharmacy career, because the advisors are the professors. So they have, you know, extra help, extra tips and stuff to help you get through school. And I remember that they, well, all professors have old exams that they want to provide for you and the classes and stuff from past years to help you study. And also within the groups, the members pass down old exams from like years ago. Even I had exams from like the 90s and stuff like that. So it was like a whole village effort, you know, for everyone to get past it. So the past exams really helped because it helped you know the style of exams the professor gives. So every professor is different, and also helps you prepare the kind of questions that professor likes to, you know, ask during an exam. So it was really good to have. So during my pharmacy career, I didn't work until the end. And I would advise anyone out there, depending on the laws in your state, to start working as soon as possible. You know, I wish I would have started earlier than I did, because it would have helped me better prepare for like the work environment and like getting used to, you know, dealing with patients and also the drug names and seeing them, you know, very often. So I feel like it would have helped me better. But I went to school in Pittsburgh, and after school I went, like when the semesters and the year was over, I would always go back home to Ohio. And in Ohio, you can't start being an intern until you start your professional year. So I couldn't be an intern, but I would just volunteer at the local hospital in my hometown, in their pharmacy department and stuff, and it was fun. Some days were kind of boring being in the hospital, but I'll get to, you know, my experience in that. But I was a volunteer pharmacy student there. So then it wasn't until the summer before my last year of school, I got a position as a pharmacy intern at an independent pharmacy in Pittsburgh, and I loved working there because the owner, he was a pharmacist, and it's independent, so it's like family owned, and all the family works there and stuff. So it was like a really nice, homely, and comfortable environment. And he was the owner, so I got the business side of pharmacy, the customer service side of pharmacy, you know, and actually the pharmacist side of being a pharmacist in a pharmacy. So I got all avenues of the career of pharmacy, and he really like sat down and taught me a lot of things and stuff like that, because we had time, because it was independent pharmacy. It wasn't like a retail chain like CVS or Walgreens or something like that. So I really value and appreciate my time there. So I was there for 2 years, and then after I finished school, I went back there to get, you know, the rest of my hours, but I'll get into that when I get to that part too. So in pharmacy school, after your first 2 years, then you have, that's your undergrad years, and you start your professional phase. And the professional phase is 4 years. in those 4 years, 3 of them are in the classroom, and the last year you just have rotations for a whole year. So you go a whole year doing rotations, so you get to pick your rotations, and you get to pick what kind of areas of pharmacy that you would potentially be interested in working after school. So it's good to get a good variety, because you never know what you would really like. Because when I was in school, I always said, like, I want to do hospital pharmacy, I don't like retail and stuff like that. And then it wasn't until I really got to experience the different types of hospital pharmacy that it wasn't for me, because I didn't get as much patient contact and talking with patients and stuff like I really would want to, because I like talking to people and stuff like that. So I didn't get as much. So I enjoyed the community pharmacy side of pharmacy way better. So I changed my mind and a lot of things, my plans and stuff like that, and I'll get into that later. But it's good to, that year is good to just do different kinds. So when I did a couple retails in like Sam's Club, Giant Eagle. I did pharmacy management in a hospital. I did, what else did I do? I did a pharmacy in a clinic that catered to people that don't have insurance or can't afford to go to the doctor. So it was all volunteers, doctors and the dentists and nurses and stuff like that. So, and that was really fun, and I liked doing that. So I liked the community pharmacy area and stuff like that. So what other rotations did I do? They were fun. I'm trying to think. I think that's all the ones, it was just basically the main ones I picked was like hospital and retail and clinic stuff. So that was that. Right, so after I've graduated from pharmacy school, I graduated from pharmacy school in 2012, for you guys that don't know, but after my pharmacy career, I still needed hours because I didn't get enough hours, you know, during my time in school. So when you're in pharmacy and you need to be getting your hours as an intern, because before you can take your board exam for any state you're in, you need a certain amount of hours. And in Pennsylvania, you needed like 1,500 hours, and I barely had any because I didn't start working in pharmacy until later. So after I finished school, I still had a lot of hours to do, but I didn't mind because I still needed to study for my boards, because the board exam was like the biggest exam. Probably the biggest exam I took in my life, and I'm going to take in my life. So I really wanted to be prepared for that, so I didn't have to worry about failing it and taking it again, because if you fail it, you gotta wait 3 months to take it again, and I was just like, I'm not having that. So I took my time to get my hours, get my experience, and then to study. So that was like 6 months. Yeah, about like 6 months. And I used a special this special book. Oh, I don't even remember the name of it anymore, but I'll have, you know, a picture of the book right here. And that was like that's like the gold standard to study for the boards. And I knew that because after I finished school, I took advantage of studentdoctor.com, or is it .org or .net? Student Doctor, and then urch.com. And those are like forums of like pharmacists, pharmacy students, those thinking about going to pharmacy. It's a big website of forums to talk about everything pharmacy, and people give their experiences on doing this and that. I use this book, I use that book, I studied this way. So take advantage of that, and I'll have the links to those websites down below. So I learned that this book was like the best book to use to study for the boards, and that's all you need. So I just used one book to study for the boards, and I read that book like 3-4 times, front and back, thoroughly, like every single inch. Like I memorized a lot of charts from that book, and it really helped me for the exam. So then after I said, okay, I'm ready to study. I think I'm good. I can take the test. And you have to you know, apply to take the test, and they approve you, and then you go pick your dates and your testing locations and stuff that you want to take your exam. So after I finished studying, I was like, I'm good. Then I applied to sit for the exam, and they approved me. Then I got my testing number, and then I went online to the Board of Pharmacy, where you can pick your testing center. So I chose to take it in Ohio, and I picked my date, picked my time, and everything like that. And the exam is a long exam, so you're there, you know, a good half of the day. I don't remember how many. I think it's like 4 or 5 hours, I think. But it's a long exam. It's a hard exam. And there's a lot of math questions, a lot of case questions, easy questions, hard questions. So it was just, when I was just in there, just and answer the best I can. And the main thing was the math. The math was like the big thing, that you have to make sure that you have to answer your math questions with no mistakes, because that's what's going to affect your patients out in the real world, because you can't miscalculate a math questions for a medication dose or anything like that, because then you can harm the patient. So there was a lot of math on there. So after I finished taking my exam, then I took my law exam for Ohio, and then I was waiting in the mail. Well, I was waiting at home in the mail for my results because I was so scared. I remember the day that I got the letter in the mail, and I was at home, and I was with Junior, and I was like running around like, Junior, I'm scared, I want to open it. He was like, just open it. So I called Inky. I was like, Inky, my results are here. Like, I'm so scared. So she said, just open it. So I opened it, and it said I passed, and they're like, congratulations, you're licensed, da 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 da. And I was just like, yes. So I was like screaming and jumping and dancing all over the house. Like, that was like the best day of my life. It was the best news I could have received. Like, it was so good. And I was just like, I just thought, like, thinking back, like, all my work in school, all those years, all my studying, like, I got to the end. I made it. It was good. So after that, then it was the job hunting process, because I decided to not stay in Pennsylvania. I wanted to come back to Ohio. Well, actually, I didn't want to be in Pennsylvania. I wanted to move somewhere else, and my options were like Texas, Atlanta, DC, and Ohio. And I chose to stay in Ohio for like in the beginning, because I was just getting my feet wet in this real world. So I said, let me just stay in Ohio. I'm not too far from my family and stuff like that. So, and the job market in Ohio and in Pennsylvania is not as good as like Texas and Atlanta and DC. So the job hunting process took me some time. And I know a couple of my friends that were in my class that applied to jobs too had a pretty hard time looking for a job, because they wanted to stay in Ohio. But I finally got a job offer, and it was for Walmart, and I was so happy that I got Walmart, because I said if I was going to do retail, I would do Walmart, because one, my mom used to work for Walmart, and I love Walmart as a company. And when I was in pharmacy school, I had a rotation with Sam's Club, and I really enjoyed working with their computer system, because I had a rotation with Giant Eagle, and I didn't like the computer system at all. It was horrible. So I loved Walmart's computer system. So I said, thank you, God. It was like everything was just coming together of what I wanted, what I needed, like what God, you know, planned for me for my life. So I was happy I got the job with Walmart. So then I worked for Walmart, and then I also work with another company. It's a medication therapy management company called MTM Outcomes, and I work with them on my own. It's like you have like a virtual pharmacy on your computer, and you can work from home or from an office or anything like that, but you set up your own pharmacy, and it's counseling, like pharmacy counseling and stuff like that. So from Walmart, aside from Walmart, I do have my another job working with MTM, and in the days I'm off from Walmart, I do the MTM counseling and stuff like that with patients. And I really like it, because you're talking to the patients, you're talking to insurance companies, you're talking to doctors' offices, making changes with their regimen, counseling them on their like diet and lifestyle, and just trying to help optimize their medication therapy regimen, all that stuff like that. So I really like doing that. And then also that I do YouTube. I have my hobbies with YouTube, and then traveling and enjoying my life. So I'm really happy right now, and I really like that with this career as a pharmacist, and then also being in retail, my schedule is very flexible, and it's not so like it doesn't constrict me with like what I can do outside of work and stuff. So it makes me happy. So I feel like this is like the perfect career for me, the kind of person I am, my personality and everything like that. Okay, so all of you out there that have not much information or are thinking about going to pharmacy school, want to apply, you're in high school, you want to apply to pharmacy school, or you're in college right now and you're thinking about going to pharmacy school, now this is the like information portion of the video. So with pharmacy, there's so many careers that you can do. And I wrote down so I don't forget like the main categories. So there's clinical and clinics, clinical, community, that's like Walmart, Walgreens, and then there's geriatrics, government, you work for the FDA, home health care, those are for patients that are discharged from the hospital but still need, they still get medication from the hospital from home. There's hospital, there's managed care, pharmaceutical industry, pharmacoeconomics that combines the pharmacy industry with the economics, that it combines pharmacy and economics together. Education, you can teach, and then also there's specialized areas within pharmacy, and then within all of these there's also like subcategories. So there's so many things you can do with pharmacy, and that's the reasons, one of the reasons why I would really like that I chose this career, because you know, you can do one thing and then maybe after a couple years or so you want to do something else, or even you want to do one thing and then do another thing that's completely, you know, different areas of pharmacy together at the same time. So there's so many things you can do, and I really liked it because it always keeps you on your toes. Patient care is changing every day, medication is changing every day, economics is changing every day, healthcare is changing every day, insurance is changing every day. So there's always something that's happening, something that's changing, a lot of things that are coming. So now, how do you get, all you out there that in high school or college, how do you get to the point where I'm at? So if you're in high school, there's 3 routes you can take to get into pharmacy school. One is a traditional route where you apply to college as a pre-pharmacy major, or you can major in biology or chemistry, psychology, business, whatever. You can do and get your 4-year degree. After your 4-year degree, then you apply to pharmacy school, and then pharmacy school is another 4 years. That's one route. Another route you can do is an early assurance or conditional program, where it's a 6-year program, and you do 2 years, and then you apply to pharmacy school. You apply, you still take the PCAT, and also you take the PCAT and apply like the traditional route. I forgot to mention the PCAT. And then so in the early assurance conditional, you do your 2 years, you apply to pharmacy school, and you do take your PCAT. And if you meet the conditions of what the pharmacy school wants, then you can continue onto the program. If not, then you're out. And then there's the 06 program that I did at Duquesne University, and you get accepted from high school, and it's a 6-year program. And the first 2 years are your pre-professional years, and the 4 years is your professional years. You don't have to apply again after 2 years, and you don't take the PCAT. So I didn't have to apply again, and I didn't take the PCAT when I was in college and stuff like that. So this 6-year program, the 06 is another accelerated program like the early insurance and stuff, and they practically have like your whole 6 years planned out for you already. I had a couple places where I could do like electives and stuff like that, but they essentially have the whole 6 years planned out for you. So those are 3 routes you can take if you're coming from high school. So now if you're in high school, you need to make sure that you're really strong in math and science. So math and science were easy subjects for me when I was in high school, so make sure that you're really good in that. But not only math and science, but you got to be well-rounded in your other curriculum. So in high school, I did photography, and I love photography because I studied in high school and I studied in college too. And I did photography, and what else did I do? And I did art, some kind of art. I forget the kind of art that I did. Oh, technical drawing. Yeah, technical drawing. And then after that, when I was in high school, so yeah, so make sure that you're really strong in those areas, and then you also have a, you know, well-rounded education too, and study really well for your ACTs and SATs. I studied with Kaplan for both exams, and I took like special Kaplan courses and stuff like that, and I did well on my SATs, I did well on my ACTs, but my ACTs made me look better. So that's what I used to apply to, like when I applied to med school and my pharmacy school, my ACT scores. So it's really important that you get really good scores in those, because it really will help you give a better table of all your options and where you want to go to school. Okay, so now you guys out there that are already in college, so what you need to do is find the list of schools that you want to apply to, that you like to go to, and then you need to find out what classes that you need to take as a prerequisite before you apply. And make sure you take those, even if you take it over the summer or stuff like that. Make sure you take it as soon as possible so that you can apply, take the PCAT and do very well on it, and then you'll be able to get an interview if they choose you, if you have a good score, take the prerequisites, do well in your undergrad years and stuff like that. And then you can do that. And also, so you can do that when you're in college and do your 4 years, get your 4-year degree. Or if you're an undergrad, if you're still an undergrad, say you're a freshman and you decide, okay, I think I want to go to pharmacy school, you can take those 2 years and do all the prerequisites for pharmacy school and then apply. And if you get in, then you kind of advance to the pharmacy phase, because they will accept you from your undergrad status. Or you can just get your 4-year degree and then apply, and make sure you take all the prerequisites for the school that you want to go to. And then there's also, for all you people that already have degrees, you already have like a bachelor's degree in something from college and you want to go to pharmacy school, they have accelerated pharmacy schools where the pharmacy school is actually 3 years. So you do 2 years of class and 1 year of rotations. It's an accelerated program, and my school actually had this program along with my program, and they went to school on the weekends. And those are for only people that already have a degree, a bachelor's degree in something. So it's not offered for everyone that's coming from anywhere. Only if you have a bachelor's degree. Okay, so right here I'm going to put like a list of all the 06 programs that are offered in the United States. And there's a handful of them, so there's a lot of options for everyone all around the United States. And then I'll have a list right here of all the schools that do the early assurance. And there's a lot of those too. And then I have a list of all the pharmacy schools, just like all the pharmacy schools in the United States. So I say that go as far as your money can take you. So if you have enough money to apply to all the pharmacy schools in the United States, then do it, because it's really hard to get into pharmacy school. It really is, because I still have, family and friends that are still trying to get into pharmacy school after a couple years and stuff like that. So looking back at it now, like when I was in high school, I didn't really see the achievement that I got accepted into a 06 program, a straight accelerated program and stuff, until now. When I look back, I'm like, wow, like I'm so lucky, because I didn't have to worry about studying for the PCAT or applying to pharmacy school. I'm not sure if I was going to get it. The only thing I have to worry about was making sure I did well and maintain my GPA so I won't get kicked out the program. So that was my only thing that I had to worry about. So I'm really grateful that I got into the pharmacy program at Duquesne. Like, I love the program, I love my school, I love being in Pittsburgh, I love Duquesne as a whole. So and I miss college sometimes too, but I enjoyed pharmacy school. I enjoyed the hard work I put in, because it makes it very sweet, like right now. So I enjoyed it, like I'm like a nerd. Like, my household is like nerd life, like hashtag nerd life. Like, everyone's a nerd in my house. So I enjoy going to school and taking exams on good times. There are times where I'm just like, what am I doing here? Like, I thought I rip my hair out and stuff like that. But I think that's all I have to say about my experience at pharmacy school. For all you guys out there that are thinking about going to pharmacy school, and then like what I'm doing now. So definitely, if you have questions, you can leave it in the comments or email me or inbox me, and if I have enough questions, then I'll do like a part 2 of this video and answer them and give more information to you guys out there. So if you want me to do a part 2, like comment, say do part 2 and ask a question, thumbs up the video, do something so I know, so I can do a part 2 for anyone that wants to know. If not, then I'll just answer all your questions individually through the comments, email, inbox, or whatever. So I think I covered all the things I wanted to cover. If not, whatever. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and I hope it was informative for you guys. And as I said, if you guys want me to do a part 2, ask me questions, thumbs up, leave comments below, and I'll do a part 2. And I think that's it. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!